exactly the same. So you're going into light, heavy, light, heavy, heavy, light, heavy, light. As long as you're
Oh, and
alternating,
he has hyper
you're
armor.
going to get the chain going as long as you have stamina. Your chain lights are enhanced, so you can keep going all the time. And if you press light twice, for example, you're going to get into your finisher light.
Sure.
If you get heavy twice,
Which
you're
has
going
hyper armor
into
too.
heavy, and that's the end of your chain. So
Oh man.
that's out of the way. As you can
Perfect.
see,
Sorry, can you throw a few more lights and heavies just so we can get all the damage values for those recording along at home?
Yes.
there you go. There you go, recorded. And
13, 30. That's
everything
that's pretty
is
good
on a vertical
damage.
sense as soon as you get into the chain.
13 and
the fact that he
32.
has, this gigantic staff and holding it like really on the end means that he has really imposing arcs. And basically, this is kind of telling you that this is a hero that's going to be comfortable in group fights when he's in staff mode. Let's get through the rest of the kit real quick.
Sure.
So you have side dodge heavies, classic, dodge those pesky Blackbriar bashes and shoulder bashes. Dodge forward heavy, which, if I can show it off here, does what it should do, which is close the gap, prevent someone from rolling out, initiate combat, etc. We have the zone, which, as you can see, has very short forward range, but that's on purpose because usually you want to kind of target the guy in front of you and hit the guy that's behind you. If it would go forward a lot, you would miss those external hits. So that would feel a lot worse than have a zone that is like moving a lot forward. Next, we have the big payoff bind move, which is the dodge forward guard break.
What?
There you go. Kind of like a demon embrace. It deals immediate damage and it chains into your chain lights, your chain heavies, all that good stuff. And you can even perform it after any light in chain. So you can target swap and hit someone in a group fight, surprise. And you'll understand like why we're doing this a bit later when we get into the access mode. You'll see.
Yes.
I think that covers. Oh yeah, I guess we got the guard break. Guard break punish, kind of not the usual one. So you'll have a top guard break punish for this hero. Remember, if you're playing Warlord, you know that you have to go top to get that guaranteed heavy. With MedJay, don't do side, or you'll get this. Not a fun time. Otherwise, I think we're ready to go.
I think so. Let's just kind of sum up this form a little bit. So if you're in staff mode, you've got
Okay, yeah, staff man. Gotcha.
You've got uninterruptible stance, and you've got a really good gank melee move that lets you do direct damage and so on. So it's kind
Like
of
ring the bell. Yeah,
like
it's
if you're in a group
yeah,
fight,
it's
this is a group
different.
fight mode
And
that
the
you want to
lane
be.
as well, I guess. It's good for clearing.
It's very good for clearing the lane, in my humble opinion, at least.
Oh no, but everyone's opinion. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Perfect. So that's basically we've seen one mode. This is what you want to use it for. So now the question is, what's the second mode?
All right. So I mean, we're gonna talk about the mode switch a bit, I guess. So walk back and guard break is your mode switch special move. So you're going to take some time to switch between modes. You are a bit
Wow.
while you're doing that. So
Oh,
you don't want
man.
to be caught with your pants down, wanting to switch in the middle of a fight. But we have ways to speed that up. So for example, you want to be in access mode coming into a fight. Yeah, this is a duel. I'm like, I don't want to be in staff mode. Boom. You can enter lock, back and guard break, and it's going to be a quick transform we call. Same thing for every recovery that the character has can be canceled with this quick transform, so you can be in the mode that you want as fast as possible.
Oh
and
my
we
goodness.
even have it on a parry cancel. So if, Steph, you want to throw a heavy, there you go. You can switch stance and still get your guaranteed damage that you would have had from like that heavy or light parry.
So not only like you can just switch the mode like that, but you can really like do like a follow up like attack, axe, quick stand. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
cool.
can
It's
have,
cool
like,
that you
it's
like,
a really cool flow when
pretty
it gets
versatile.
going for sure. It's super cool to see. I love what we did here.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it on parry, especially because that's a time a lot of times where you're like, oh, I thought it was a duel, but now it's a group fight. So I got to parry off at some point, and I can transform into the mode I want, or vice versa.
Yeah. And while you're in axe, Ben, remember when we did like a hit reaction in axe? That was a big challenge that we had because it was always going back into a staff, And thank you to Tariq and the GPP team to helping us creating like magic, programmer magic to make it happen. So I don't know if you can show like when you get it into Axe. So
Do it.
there you
Let's
go.
So yeah, I mean, this hero has been a long time coming.
It sounds so
we had
complicated. Yeah,
a
it's
lot of work to do before we even started.
it's gonna be a skill
working
gap.
on
I
it.
can't wait to just be able to just
It's a
flow
great
in and
achievement,
out.
and
It's gonna
cool that
be
we get
it's
to
gonna
do
be a
it.
lot
Can
of
we see
fun.
some execution as well?
I mean, we're gonna get through the Axis mode stuff
Oh,
first.
okay, yes. I'm just too excited.
Calm
sorry.
down,
Sorry,
calm
I'm
down.
too excited.
I mean, she's the animator girl, so of course she wants to see executions.
We'll see it all.
All right, so MedJay in Axis mode, he has move parity. That's what we call it. I don't know if we made that up, but it means that whatever you're pressing in one mode, it's gonna do something in the other mode. So if I go dodge forward heavy in Axis mode, there's something there. If I do side dodge heavy in Axis mode, there's something there. If I do zone, obviously there's a zone. If I do the dodge forward guard break, instead of being a big bind move, it's a super quick unreactable bash that this time guarantees a light and of course combos into itself infinitely for as long as I have stamina. And you have the heavy finishers that instead of having unreachable stance have
Oh wow.
some good old unblockable property to really force a reaction out of your opponent.
So what you're saying there with the input parity is basically like we taught you all the moves that you have in staff mode.
Mm-hmm.
So using the same inputs that you've seen there, you can do the same character kind of flow in the Axe mode, and you get moves basically. So yeah, they have different properties and different use cases, but basically.
Yeah, there you go. So like there is literally two move sets, but since once you know what to press in one, you'll know what to press in the other one. And
That's
then
so
it's just a matter of having like
That is so
properties, for
cool.
example, 400 ms chain lights and the unblockable heavy finishers. So I think that gets us to the executions, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. All right, no more invincible. Let's see him real quick. I got this guy. So
Oh my
It's so much
goodness.
fun. The mocap like doing the stuff like detach, attach, detach, attach during the execution. I love it.
and if you are in Axis mode, you will be reverting to staff mode if you start an execution, if you go into the execution timer, and if you go out of lock, same thing here. So yeah, that's a good thing to know. But that's why we have the shortcuts to go into Axis mode whenever you want.
So what will be the logical transition if you play a hero, like in terms of fight kit or play style, like to play the MedJay? Which hero will be like good?
I think it depends what you're used to. Basically, like if you. Yeah,
Nice. Oh my goodness.
if you're used to big trajectory characters, your JJs, your Griffins, then you will, I think, quite naturally learn the group fight aspect of this, the staff mode side of this. And if you're used to some of the characters that can kind of nuke you down quickly if things go their way, the assassins or berserker, let's say, you'll quite quickly.
Just glad you
learn
can't
how to
feint
do
the
flow,
bash. That's all.
For axe mode, basically.
Exactly. So should we get into the feats next?
Yes,
do
yes,
that.
it's feats.
Yeah, right?
Let's do that.
All right.
I hope this theory of two modes extends all the way to the feats.
It does. That's why I said duality earlier. So I'm super happy that we managed to do this. It was a hurdle, but we managed to do a hero where each of the feats has two different uses.
That's
so
crazy.
basically the hero has kind of like 8
Wow.
feats.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
Roll the video, the videos. So on the first feat, we have the Sunshine Strength. When you get a kill in staff mode, for the duration of your life, you will now have a defense buff for as long as you live. So as soon as you die, you're going to lose it, but you're in Axis mode, you're in staff mode. As soon as you get that buff, you're going to keep it. And next, we have the opposite effect in Axis mode. If you get a kill and you have that feat activated, you will now get a passive attack buff for the duration of your life. And the fun part, the quest, as we call it, is that once you get both buffs, you can get both buffs at once. And so you are a passively buffed defense and attack hero for the rest of your life. And that's even scarier, knowing what the hero can do.
Exactly. So you
Yeah,
get the
that's,
feat pieces. So kind of your goal, as you say, your quest in each life is try to.
I think it's
get
only
a
like
kill in
a
one
couple,
mode,
you know,
and then
more
you get to
damage
keep
than
the
what
defensive buff, the little
usually
defensive
is.
shoulders forever until you die.
That is pretty cool, though.
And
I
then
like
ideally,
that.
If you get it in the other mode, then you get the attack one as well. You see your hands glowing and your shoulders glowing, and you'll be like, I'm left all the time.
There you go. All right, moving on to the second feat, the Moonlight Drain, which, as its name implies, is a debuff. So if you hit your melee bind attack with the staff mode, you'll see a debuff on your opponent. That debuffs its defense. So this is your big bind move, the big gank move that will hopefully have your allies nearby, ready to do heavies. And if your opponent is debuffed at the same time, he's gonna eat a lot of damage. So fits really well with the game plan. And if we go with
That
the staff
bash
equivalent,
looks
the
really
axis equivalent,
slow.
sorry, you hit your little unreactable buff there. That's going to apply a debuff on the attack of the opponent, giving you an edge in that combat, in that duel, allowing you to tank a bit more damage. And since it's a move that you'll be landing often, you can expect your opponent to be debuffed pretty much the whole fight, I would guess.
I like that both like staff and axe, they kind of like talk to each other and the same, like they're kind of similar but different, depend on the mode. So I feel like it's
Exactly. So
Good job on
we had an opportunity to have a feat set that reflects that duality for sure. So the stuff that you get in axes makes sense for you in axes, and the stuff you get in axe as well. So perfect example is the third feat, Scarab Relief, which in staff is a AoE healing around you.
Oh,
You're gonna be in
wow.
a group fight with MedJay a lot, so that's what you want to have. And if you are in Axis mode, it's a greedy mode. You're in a 1v1. You want to get healing for yourself. Oh, it's going to be more healing, obviously, than the staff.
So yeah,
counterpart.
when you're in Axis
But,
mode, that heals
yeah,
you. That's a bar.
Honestly, it's just a greedy.
When you're in staff mode, that's only,
greedy aspect.
I think, like
Back
half a
with,
bar.
like if staff, your whole kit is about being like group fighting, and it's reflected.
But
in
yeah, that
strength
dual
healing,
axis
this is super
mode,
good. You can heal your friends.
you just heal yourself, and
And
then the
vice versa,
staff you
if you're an
heal
axe,
around.
your
So
whole mode is about 1v1ing. So if you can heal yourself for a bit more than you could heal a group, this is awesome.
And there you go. And the big payoff reflects that as well. On the feat 4, we have on staff a big projectile AoE that you can throw around and hit people that are bunched up in a group fight for medium damage. And then you have the Axis mode, which, if you've been paying attention, is a single target projectile that
oh,
deals a crap ton of damage to just one person.
that's at 70 damage.
And that pretty much covers all of the feats.
Well,
we are
it is
super
fourth